Okay, Robert, let's talk about what you talked about in that video. And I'm going to summarize what you talked about in a way that you might not have heard it before. Okay, I love what you see as being your higher purpose at this point in time. I love that you are so heartfelt and committed to people that you love and that have done much for you, and you see people that have done much for you in examples of positive things that you want to emulate and you want to do those same things. I see back again tying to what you always thought of God and religion was cause and effect. And I see you working in this real world, finding things of positive nature and emulating them in your own way so that you're emulating the heroes and the caregivers and the people that love you and express heartfelt things to you and even needs to you, and that you want to be like that. I mean, if you don't talk about God and you don't talk about religion, that's still a very moral person. It's a very caring person. It's a very giving person. It's a very decent person as far as human standards go. Okay. And I think that's wonderful. And those are great higher purposes. Higher purposes than another human that doesn't have high standards. Another human that doesn't have morality. So you're already above the muck. You're already living a higher purpose than a low-life scum that doesn't care about anybody but themselves. Okay, so you've already attained what I deem a quality individual higher purpose, and I think that's great. That's great. But that's not the fullness of the higher purpose that I'm talking about. But it's still wonderful. Don't get me wrong. And if everybody was like that, it'd be a much better world to live in. But let me take you to what I'm talking about that's even, it's just monumentally much huger than that. I can't do this in a way that doesn't risk belittling those you love and yourself and your views. So I'm just going to hope that you trust me enough from what our previous talks were like to give me the benefit of the doubt here. Because what I'm going to say here could come across as negative towards what you value. And I don't want it to, but I have to. All right. That said, so much of what goes on in this world that doesn't have to do with the highest purpose of religious significance, done, in other words, done for not so that the things work right in this world, but done so that they transcend and they're even higher, the way they're designed to work, but you're attributing it to a higher place. So much of what we do, even the most moral and caring and special people in this world, so much of what we do in this human arena is belittled because it takes care of itself for so many that handle it well. In other words, I'll rub your back, you rub my back. I'm a good guy, I'm going to hang around with a good guy. I'm a good girl, I'm going to hang around with a good girl. And it's all going to work out because we don't want to be in the muck, but we're not going to go trying to find some higher, super higher level calling. We're just going to be decent people that help one another. But here's the thing. Some of the examples you gave, your coach, how he's with you, dedicated to you. Me, how I'm dedicated to you. Your professional guidance counselor, so how he's dedicated to you. How you are dedicated to the person you speak to on the internet through the camera thing. You're dedicated. And I guess there's some level of dedication back. And these are dedications that all have exchanges. Like if we just stop this, and that's why I made the video before this, if we just stopped this and said, all I'm going to do is just help you in the physical realm, and I would just freely accept whatever payments I could and do all I could just for that area. That's how I would be if I felt that was all life would be. I'd still be a moral, upstanding citizen. I'd still care. I'd still be looking the same and everything and talking the same and whatnot. But I would be operating on a lesser plane. So all the things you talked about that choke you up and give you heartfelt feelings for one another and whatnot, it's all what comes around goes around. Of course there's going to be people that care. Why? This sounds bad, but because they want to be cared for. Okay? There's always a reciprocal effect. There's an exchange of money. There's an exchange of services. There's an exchange of care. Even when you go to the prison and you go 4 or 5 or 6 out of the way. I remember I went to a prison one time when I was in college doing some video services for them, and we videotaped the band that they had there, and they just felt so good about that somebody came to time and go in there and video them and show what they're doing and how they're trying to turn lives around. I'm telling you something now. Just the feeling that you are cared for by these people elevates. Just the feeling that they care about you is a payment of sorts. It can elevate you. If you're the kind of person that needs emotional stabilization, needs build-ups, it's like a reciprocal effect. It's like a payment. So all of these areas you're talking about, even your STEP program, these things are set up by things that pay for them. There's agencies and tax incentives and actual payments and health insurance benefits, and your coach. Don't you have to pay when you have a coach? Don't you do things at the gym to help out? Didn't you say you kind of manage and you kind of helped everybody, put your arm around them, and you were a moral support character? Maybe you did a little maintenance or a little bit of cleaning or moral support or whatever. So see, it's all reciprocal. It's all reciprocal. What I'm talking about with your higher purpose goes way beyond that, to the point where you would do it if there was no reciprocation for it. Absolutely no value given to you. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why I would like to relate to you in a way that there's no charge when I'm talking to you about these things. Because I would do this for anybody that came knocking at my door for free. I wouldn't want to get anything out of it. I'm so convinced that the non-reciprocal, over and above type of effect that you have, that you can give to someone, is the way that the Creator would want, or that our whole higher life purpose here should be based on, that in my conveying it to someone, I can't ask for anything for it. You would be defeating the purpose. So I want you to challenge yourself to take note of every single exchange that is made with all the good people, even the ones that love you, even parents, professionals, anybody you come into contact with. You look, and I hate to say this, but even churches, you try your hardest to find someone that is willing to not get anything back from you at all, but still be willing to be dedicated to you. Try to find that. It's almost non-existent. And I know because I look for it, and I can't even find it in most churches or charities or you name it. All the things you think of that are supposed to be doing that. If you really analyze it and you're fervent in your dedication of looking at what I'm telling you to look at, you will find that what I'm saying is true. There's always a reciprocal effect. Always. I want you to, if you can trust me on this and you can hear what I'm saying at all, I want you to be dedicated to observing that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a wonderful way to be in this world and give and take. Look at Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims, the Indians. It's a wonderful way. I believe our Creator would have wanted us to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to just simply see what I'm saying and separate it from an even higher life purpose than that. That's all I'm asking you to do. All these things that you love and you care about and that you do and they're heartfelt, they're real and legitimate and wonderful. I do not want to put them down. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you that where I'm talking to you from that you're not getting is so far above that. That's why I think you're not grasping it. Because you've never seen it. Even when you were searching for 8 years after your program, you'd never encountered it. I believe you've never seen it in any shape or form ever. Because here's why I believe this. If you have, you would have noticed. I see what you have noticed and how heartfelt it is, and I know you're looking. I'm almost positive you've never experienced what I'm truly talking about. And that's why you don't understand it. And that's why you're not connecting with the true higher purpose I'm talking about. And that's why you're not connecting with the true, what the Creator would want. I would love to, on this limited basis we have together, to do anything I could to show you what that is. I would love to be able to just give and not get anything back if that's what it would take. But there are so few ways in this world to truly do that. They're as hard to find as it is hard to find someone that would be even wanting to do it. So I want to keep this video short, and I want you to just think about this very condensed thing I'm talking about here. Now, I want to take a turn that can be tied in with religion, and that's called agape love. And that is what I'm talking about. And in my opinion, that's what Jesus represented, was that he gave without any getting back needs, without any hope of getting anything back. Agape love is to love so fully and so purely and so givingly that you would not even want anything, even if it was offered freely, as reciprocation for what you're doing. That agape love is so rare that if you find it, the chances are, and this is why I'm asking you to analyze this, if you find that agape love, the true agape love that has no hope for reciprocal nature, the chances are you're going to find whatever that source is connected with higher purpose. So that's why I'm challenging you to become skillful at searching for it. Because if you want to find higher purpose and you become skillful at that, that will help you target the best things that any person on this planet can strive for. And I know you want to strive for that. I can tell just in your conviction and the tone of your voice and the examples you gave. I know you want that. So that's what I suggest you start looking for. That's what I'm trying to emulate. That's what very few people you're going to find are trying to truly emulate. And that's why I urge you not to continue our professional relationship, but only take freely whatever I can offer you. And that's why I sent you the money video before this. All right, so think about that. Listen to this video again. Study, search, analyze. Agape love. Unconditional, non-reciprocal giving. Try to find an example of it. Okay, Robert, I'll talk to you, well, I won't say shortly, but if you have anything else to say, I'm not going to keep on flowing into your life with things that are unwanted, perhaps. So if you would keep in touch with me and tell me what I could say that's in this same vein but more effectively, I'd be glad to do so, no charge. If you really need something that is definitive as far as your life goes, as far as what we talked about with your scheduling and things, that's fine. But like I say, unless you give me more information I don't already have, I think I've given you enough in that area. So I will talk to you as often as you would like. If you would like to keep on batting these videos back and forth, whatever you'd like to do, I'll give you 100% of my convictions to help you to obtain what I think it is that you ultimately want to obtain. I will do my best, if it is within my power and capability, to help you continue to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise. There's no limit, in my opinion. Just my belief and my feelings, and I will be there for that. And I will help you anytime and any way I can that I can if you just ask. So don't be a stranger. Get back with me and continue to reflect the thoughts, and I'll reflect the thoughts off you anytime you ask. Okay, Robert, you have a good one. I'm glad that you survived the storm very well and things are good for you. And I'm glad that I think everybody, it looks like there wasn't a lot of death or anything like that. It looks like a lot of property damage, and it looks like the city was prepared. I'm glad about that. And I hope everybody that you know is taking care of themselves, and I'm hoping that everybody will be okay with the rebuilding and getting things back up to speed. And you take care of yourself and keep on that list of things that you're working on, especially the sleep and everything. Go back to those videos if you want to talk about them again. If you want me to reinforce any of those things in different ways, let me know about that too. Anyway, I'll talk to you whenever you like, Robert.